Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today's the 31st of July 2024. Now the prices of Bitcoin on the global cryptocurrency market cap has gone down, and the answer to that is pretty simple. Later on in the day, Jerome Powell will be making a decision whether to keep the interest rate, reduce the interest rate, or go ahead and increase the interest rate. Now look guys, because of this news, I'm pretty much sure a lot of whales as well as traders are trying to manipulate the market, isn't it? So these are things you need to be aware of as well. Now what I'm going to be doing guys is, in the episode that I'll release tomorrow, I'll definitely go ahead and discuss what is the decision that he has done. Jerome Powell tends to go live via YouTube, and what I've noticed is 3 to 4 hours after he has gone live, and based on the decision, the price tends to react, so I'll definitely go ahead and touch base on that news. Now there is a massive news guys regarding Bitcoin and the University of Wyoming. They have gone ahead and launched the first Bitcoin Research Institute, and the institute guys will primarily be focusing on Bitcoin, isn't it? So definitely positive news, I guess. Now the second news guys is all the way from India, and Bybit guys, they have gone ahead and launched a digital rupee, which is called as e-rupee, and they want to offer a secure payment method for Indian rupee transactions on the platform. Now roughly around 2 months ago guys, I did talk about Bybit, and they were trying to secure a license in India, so I'll definitely go ahead and touch base on that news. Now we do have another news guys, and the third news is all the way from Russia, and because of heavy sanctions from US and Western countries, Russia has decided to legalize cryptocurrency for trade, so I'll definitely go ahead and touch base on this news. Now you also need to remember guys that Russia is a key player so far as BRICS is concerned, isn't it? So it's going to be really interesting to see what the update to this is. Now we do have a really interesting news, and this has to do with Ton Blockchain and Trust Wallet guys. They have gone ahead and decided to have partnership with Ton Blockchain, also called as the Open Network. Definitely positive news, isn't it? Now this integration guys will actually allow Trust Wallet's 100 million users to go ahead and send and receive Toncoin tokens, so definitely positive news. Now the final news guys is not a positive news, and that is to do with DraftKings, and looks like they have decided to drop NFTs. Now if you're someone who watches UFC or MMA, maybe even basketball, you would know what DraftKings is, because I believe they work heavily with betting industry, isn't it? Now they have decided to go out and drop NFTs, because based on the investigation guys, looks like the NFTs that they sold might have been unregistered securities, so definitely unfortunate news, isn't it? So I'll definitely go out and discuss this. So quite a lot to cover guys in today's episode, and like we do in every Crypto and Coffee a Day podcast, I'll go out and discuss 2 news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now both the news guys have to do with artificial intelligence. Now the first one is a combination of news from the Emirate of Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia, and the news essentially is that Intellimatrix, they have secured $20 million in the region's largest AR Series A round funding, so I'll definitely go ahead and touch base on this news. So the company guys is from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, but they have received heavy investment from Abu Dhabi. Definitely positive news, isn't it? Now the second news guys is also to do with the Emirate of Abu Dhabi, and this is to do with Cleveland Clinic in Abu Dhabi. And the news essentially is that Cleveland Clinic from Abu Dhabi, they have become the UAE's largest center for AI-assisted colonoscopy procedures, so I'll definitely go ahead and discuss this. Now look guys, it's great to know that artificial intelligence is used for medical purposes and saving lives, isn't it? So definitely positive news. So quite a lot to cover guys in today's episode. Let's kickstart with it right away. Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the Blockchain DXB journey. Firstly, Advanced Media. Advanced Media guys is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE, so definitely check it out. And also guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing and hosting training workshops, seminars and community events that educate, inform and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website that is www.amt.tv and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race-Pace Podcast. So check out the Race-Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race-Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now guys, since you've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now the global cryptocurrency market, guys, has gone down and it is at $2.37 trillion. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 1.79%. Now if you look at the total cryptocurrency market volume, guys, it is down to $65.84 billion. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 16.76%. Now look, guys, the only reason why the matrix has gone down is because, as I mentioned earlier, Jerome Powell later on in the day will be making a decision whether to keep the interest rate hike, reduce it, or go ahead and increase it. And because of this news, guys, a lot of the cryptocurrency whales, a lot of the traders are trying to manipulate the market, isn't it? Now, based on my understanding, guys, there is a very high possibility that Jerome Powell will keep the interest rate the same. But these whales, what they want to do is they want to go ahead and dump a lot of the coins, and there is a very high possibility they might be wanting to go short as well. So these are things you need to factor as well. And guys, what happened is that earlier today, the Department of Justice, they've entered and transferred $2 billion worth of confiscated Bitcoin. Now, I'll definitely go ahead and give out more information regarding this. But look, guys, at a macro level, I do feel that because of the FOMC meeting, the prices have been fluctuating. Now, one metric, guys, which has not been fluctuated, and unfortunately that has to do with DeFi. No matter what happens in the cryptocurrency world, the volume in DeFi is pretty much the same. And today, guys, it is down to $3.64 billion. And as of today, DeFi is accounting for only 5.53% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And if you look at the total value locked, guys, It is well below the $100 billion mark. It is at $98.90 billion, with Lido still dominating so far as total value locked is concerned, and the total value locked is $32.49 billion. Now, the decentralized to centralized exchange dominance, guys, is well over the 20% mark at 24.21%. Now, strangely, guys, yesterday, Radium overtook the 24-hour volume of Uniswap, isn't it? But today, guys, Uniswap's volume has picked up pace, and the volume is almost $2 billion, $1.98 billion to be precise. Radium, guys' volume is number 2nd, and the 24-hour volume is less than $1 billion mark. It is at $843.84 million. PancakeSwap, guys, is at number 3rd. Its volume is $633.08 million. Orca is at number 4th. Its volume is $517.52 million. And number 5th, guys, is Aerodrome. Its volume is $275.94 million. Now, let me quickly run through the volume of stablecoins, guys, because the numbers aren't that great, considering the fact that the prices have been falling down, isn't it? It is only at $59.94 billion. And as of today, guys, 31st of July, stablecoins is accounting for 90.02% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Now, look, guys, after the announcement, I'm pretty much sure the volume of stablecoins might just be around the $80 to $90 billion mark, because you need to remember, guys, a lot of traders and whales will be trying to manipulate the market because of the announcement, and after the announcement is made, they will go ahead and start buying a lot of stable coins, and eventually, guys, I do feel that the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be pumping up. This is my assessment, to be honest. Now, if you look at the volume of stable coins, guys, Tether USDT is leading the pack at $50.33 billion. Circle USDC, guys, is at number 2nd, and its volume is $5.26 billion, followed by FDUSD. Its volume is $3.80 billion. Now, if you look at the market cap of Bitcoin and Ethereum both have gone down, guys. Bitcoin's market cap is at $1.29 trillion. So it looks like since the last 24 hours, Bitcoin has hit the most, isn't it? Now, if you look at Ethereum's market cap, guys, it is well below the $400 billion mark. It is only at $3.94 billion. Now, the 24-hour trading volume, guys, of Bitcoin is $30.61 billion, and Ethereum's 24-hour trading volume is $14.00 billion. Now, the dominance of Bitcoin, guys, has actually pumped up, and today it is at 55.85%, whereas Ethereum's dominance is down to 16.70%. Now, look, guys, I do feel in the next 48 hours, the dominance of Bitcoin and Ethereum might be the same, but what would change is the 24-hour trading volume and the prices. So let's see, guys, if that narrative turns out to be true. Now, in today's episode, guys, what I want to do is I want to run through the total value locked across all oracles. Now, in order to understand what oracles are, I do have a standalone episode explaining what oracles are, the use cases of decentralized oracles, and the role of artificial intelligence in oracles. So I'd really recommend you guys to go ahead and listen to the standalone episode on oracles. Now, what I want to do is I want to run through the total value secured across all oracles, and I also want to look at the percentage, and we will get an understanding on which oracle is dominant, isn't it? Now, it's absolutely no surprise that Chainlink is leading the pack, and so far the total value secured, it is at $24.68 billion. And in terms of percentage, guys, Chainlink itself accounts for almost 50% of all oracles at 48.04%. The second one is Winklink, and the total value secured is $7.67 billion. In terms of percentage, guys, it accounts for 14.94%. The third one is Chronicle, and the total value secured is $5.72 billion, and it accounts for 11.13%. The fourth one is Pith or Byte, and in terms of dollar amount, the total value secured, or TVS, is $5.27 billion. In terms of percentage, it is 10.26%. The fifth one, guys, is Switchboard. In terms of dollar amount, it is $1.79 billion. In terms of percentage, it is only at 3.49%. Now, look, guys, regarding Chainlink, I would really recommend you guys to go ahead and listen to an episode. Lex Friedman, one of the leading podcasters in the space of artificial intelligence and even technologies in general, he did have an interview with Sergey Nazarov. I would really urge you guys to go ahead and listen to it. It does provide quite a lot of information regarding his history, the importance and use case of cryptocurrency, and along with that, guys, Lex Friedman also had a really long interview with Charles Hoskinson. Definitely worth listening to both of them. Now, look, guys, what did happen a couple of hours ago. The Department of Justice, they went in and transferred $2 billion worth of confiscated Bitcoin. Now, Arkham Intelligence, guys, which is one of the leading anti-analysts, they went ahead and provided quite a lot of useful information, and what they actually said is that the US Department of Justice affiliated crypto wallet transferred $2 billion worth of confiscated Bitcoin. Now it's really important to note, guys, that these Bitcoins were originally seized from Silk Road. Now they've gone ahead and give out detailed breakup, guys, and what they have said is that nearly 28,000 Bitcoins were moved and they were divided between two addresses, and 19,800 Bitcoin were sent in one address and 10,000 Bitcoins in another. Now Arkham Intelligence, guys, that 10,000 Bitcoin transferred may be a deposit to an institutional custody service. Now look, guys, when that thing happens, most likely they won't be selling it, isn't it? Now so far as this news is concerned, the US government crypto holding still exceeds $12 billion in value. Now look, as historically the US government has a history of similar transfers, including a prior transfer of 2,000 Bitcoin, but that was sent to Coinbase Prime Wallet, and I definitely went ahead and touched base on that on my Crypto and Coffee 88 podcast. Now look, the 2,000 Bitcoin transferred was part of $32.5 million custodial contract with the US Marshal Service. Now look, as this is the beauty of open blockchain, isn't it? Absolutely anyone in the world can go ahead and verify these transactions, and because of this publicly verifiability feature, guys, we can definitely hold government and notorious politicians responsible for the actions as well, isn't it? So these are some of the benefits of publicly verifying all the transactions, guys. In case of fiat currencies, absolutely no one can verify what the government has spent, isn't it? Now, guys, let me go ahead and touch base on some really interesting news, and this is all the way from Wyoming and the University of Wyoming, guys. They have gone ahead and launched the first Bitcoin Research Institute, and they want to enhance the quality and impact of Bitcoin research. Now, the institute, guys, will create faculty positions, incentive academic work, and also offer workshops. Now, the university, guys, aims to provide rigorous, evidence-based research accessible to academics, journalists, and even policymakers, and they are leveraging the interdisciplinary collaboration, renewable energy access, and favorable legislative environment. And the university will collaborate with various departments as well. Now, if you do need the official link, guys, it is published via bitcoinmagazine.com, and it is in the show notes below. And if you want to go ahead and apply for the University of Wyoming, the link to that is in the show notes below as well. Definitely positive news for the Bitcoin community, I guess. Now, guys, let me go ahead and touch base on some news all the way from India. And Bybit, guys, which is one of the leading cryptocurrency exchanges, they have launched something called as Digital Rupee, also called as e-Rupee, and they want to offer a secure payment method for Indian rupee transactions on its platform. Now, this wallet-based solution, guys, aims to enhance security and attract more merchants by protecting against cyber threats. Now, this move, guys, according to them, is expected to improve user trust and expand Bybit's market research. Now, really, I'm not sure, guys, how the politicians in India would react to this, because I'm pretty much sure India already has a CBDC in place, isn't it? And historically, guys, so far as cryptocurrency is concerned, India has had more of a hate relationship than love to cryptocurrency, isn't it? And the introduction of e-Rupee, guys, reflects the growing role of stablecoins and fiat-backed tokens in bridging traditional finance with cryptocurrency, isn't it? So let's see, guys, I'll definitely go ahead and give out an update to this. Now, I do remember, guys, roughly around 2 months ago, I did go ahead and discuss Bybit. They were planning to go ahead and get license from relevant authorities as well. I'm just hoping that they've taken a legal route in going ahead and launching the e-Rupee. Now, guys, let me go ahead and touch base on some news all the way from Russia. And Reuters has actually reported that Russia has passed a law, and this law will allow the use of cryptocurrencies in international trade to evade Western sanctions, and this is set to take effect in September. And this law aims to counter payments delay with key partners like China and India, which have led to an 8% drop in imports. Now, the law, guys, will establish a new crypto payment infrastructure in Russia that are seeking alternatives to dollar and euro transactions. Now, look, guys, this news is absolutely massive, because with BRICS in play, this could set the future on how Russia go ahead and does transaction, isn't it? And Russia passing a bill, guys, allows the use of cryptocurrencies in international trade, and they will be bypassing Western sanctions that was imposed to them after the invasion of Ukraine, isn't it? Now, it's really important to note, guys, despite efforts to use partner currencies and create BRICS payment systems, many transactions still occur in dollars and euros, exposing banks to secondary sanctions. Now, really, I'm curious to check, guys, if they do actually come up with a stable coin, that would be much beneficial for the BRICS system, isn't it? Or what about XRP or Ripple? That I do feel will be extremely easy to adopt and will be a game changer. And to be honest, guys, the BRICS countries are really smart. They don't even need to go ahead and adopt Ripple. They could just copy-paste something similar to what Ripple or XRP is doing. That would be a game changer in my opinion. Now guys, let me go ahead and touch base on some partnership news regarding Tron blockchain and Trust Wallet, guys, which I believe is owned by Binance, isn't it? They are partnered with Tron blockchain, that is the open network, and they want to boost blockchain adoption. Now the collaboration, guys, will enable Trust Wallet to leverage Telegram's user base and focus on game financing, that is gamify, and also decentralized apps. Now look guys, there are so many apps that are built in Telegram, isn't it? And since the past few months, I've been talking so many decentralized apps that are working on Telegram. Now what's really important to note, guys, is that this integration will allow Trust Wallet's 100 million users to send and receive Toncoin tokens. Definitely positive news. Now look guys, I'm pretty much sure there might be some developments coming so far as WhatsApp is concerned, or even Twitter or X. I'm pretty much sure guys Elon Musk will try to go ahead and implement something similar as well. It would be a game changer, let's say if X or Twitter does decide to go ahead and have a partnership with the open network or Tron blockchain, isn't it? Now guys, let me go ahead and discuss some news regarding DraftKings, and they have decided to exit the NFT space. Now look guys, if you're someone who watches UFC, MMA or basketball, DraftKings, I believe guys, they work on betting industry, isn't it? Now they have decided to shut down the NFT business, including Reignmakers and its NFT Marketplace, and this is due to the recent legal development. Now this decision, guys, follows a federal judge allowing a class action lawsuit to proceed, and they are actually alleging that DraftKings NFTs were unregistered securities. Now in the show notes below, guys, I've gone ahead and published a link that I believe goes back to a couple of months that actually states that the federal court did actually find the DraftKings NFTs may be securities, and because of this, guys, they have decided to go ahead and drop NFTs. Definitely unfortunate news, isn't it? So look guys, it's so critical to truly understand what the Harvey test is, and once you understand what the Harvey test is, that will give you basic level understanding on what constitutes a security and what constitutes a commodity. And that is the whole drama between Ripple and SEC, isn't it? And let's see guys how the drama regarding Ripple and SEC unfolds as well. Now these were some macro level news guys on the cryptocurrency and blockchain world. Now let's look at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East, and both the news guys has to do with artificial intelligence. And the first news guys is regarding Intelmatics, and they have secured $20 million in the largest CR Series A funding round in the MENA region. Now the investment, guys, was led by Shahrukh Partners, with participation from both public and private institutions, and other investors included Saudi Venture Capital Company, also called as SVC, Saudi Technology Ventures STV, Lion Financing Company, Sultan Holdings, Zain Ventures and Rua Growth Fund. Now the investment, guys, aligns with Saudi Arabia's focus on AI, and it is supported by a $40 billion AI fund launched in March of 2024. Now this fund, guys, aims to position Saudi Arabia as the world's largest AI investor, and they want to promote economic diversification. And Dr. Nabil Koshak, the CEO and board member of SAC, has emphasized the commitment to AI's contribution to Saudi's economy. Definitely positive news, isn't it? And Nipram Niyaz, the CEO of NTDP, highlighted efforts to support deep tech startups and AI adoption in Saudi Arabia. Now, so far as Intelmatics is concerned, guys, it is among the first companies backed by NTDP, and it is part of Saudi Ministry of Communications and Information Technology, and it is founded by MIT scientists. And Intelmatics, guys, they address the AI gap in regions, technology and human capital, and its flagship product, that is EDIX, aims to be the most accessible enterprise AI platform globally. Now EDIX, guys, is designed to be user-friendly for all enterprise users, from executives to operational staff as well, and the platform seeks to maximize AI's impact and accelerate adoption without needing highly skilled AI talent. Now look guys, when artificial intelligence becomes mainstream, we may not be requiring technical information, isn't it? All or most of the technical information will be managed by artificial intelligence. Now we're definitely in for a spooky and Black Mirror kind of world, in my opinion. Now Anas Al-Faris, the co-founder and CEO of Intelmatics, has described EDIX as a solution for AI capabilities without the skill shortage and investment concerns. And Nabil Alamodi, the CEO of Lion Financing Company, has noted the region's need for Intelmatics AI products, and Badr Al-Karafi, the chairman of Zen Group, has highlighted Intelmatics technology as a product booster for enterprises. And Intelmatics, guys, as of now operates in Riyadh, London, Boston, and they are leveraging AI and decision intelligence for better enterprise outcomes. Now if you do need more information, guys, the website is intelmatics.ai, so definitely positive news. And looks like the funding, guys, is mostly come from Abu Dhabi as well. Now look, as far as Abu Dhabi is concerned, they're definitely taking leaps and bounds in the AI field, isn't it? And the next news I'm going to be talking about has to do with the Emirate of Abu Dhabi as well, and Cleveland Clinic Abu Dhabi. becomes UAE's largest center for AI-assisted colonoscopy procedures. Now, Cleveland Clinic is part of M42 Group, and the clinic offers advanced colorectal cancer screening program. And since January of 2024, guys, the program has served over 2,000 patients using 6 AI-assisted colonoscopy units. Now, look, guys, what I'm really liking is that AI technology improves colorectal cancer screening, and it does this by analyzing large amount of data quickly and accurately, and the technology reduces false positives and alleviates patients' anxiety, thereby improving patient outcomes. And AI-assist physicians help in detecting and diagnosing colorectal conditions with greater accuracy. Definitely brilliant use cases in it. Now look, since the last 6 months, I'm seeing quite a lot of news regarding artificial intelligence, and they are turning out to be life-saving technology, isn't it? Now, so far as this news is concerned, guys, real-time analysis during colonoscopies will help in identifying polyps and abnormalities missed by the human eye, and timely intervention and personalized treatment plans are facilitated by AI's enhanced detection capabilities. And Dr. Mark Kerr has highlighted the importance of detecting interval cancer, where polyps are missed during colonoscopy. Now, missed polyps, guys, can remain undetected for 8 to 10 years before progressing into cancer. This is an absolutely game changer, isn't it? And AI integration in colonoscopy represents a transformative advancements in care standards. Now, AI has shown significant promise in improving detection rates and patient outcomes, and systemic reviews consistently demonstrate AI's efficacy and efficiency in enhancing detection and outcomes. In colorectal cancer is the most common cancer among men and third among women in the UAE, and it is the leading cause of cancer-related deaths due to delayed detection and prevention failures. And the UAE Ministry of Health and Prevention, guys, they have gone ahead and confirmed all of these statistics. Now, early screening is emphasized as symptoms of colorectal cancer often appear in the later stages, and the Department of Health in Abu Dhabi recommends routine screening for all men and women over 40 years. Definitely positive news, isn't it? Now, look, as with quantum computing kicking in, with the use of artificial intelligence, technology such as this can definitely save lives, and it can detect the possibilities of cancer by almost a decade, isn't it? Definitely a brilliant technology. So those were the news, guys, on the cryptocurrency, blockchain, and artificial intelligence world from Blockchain DXB. If you do like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And I would also recommend you guys to go ahead and check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com. It is packed with loads of information in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain, NFTs, DeFi, Metaverse, central bank digital currency, and now even artificial intelligence. Now for the next few minutes, guys, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's kick start with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a question by John who asks, what do you think the decision by Jerome Powell will be regarding the interest rate hike, and how much do you see the price fluctuating? That is such a brilliant question, John. But look, all price predictions, as I often say, is 100% right 50% of the time, isn't it? Now, what Jerome Powell will be doing, John, is he will be taking quite a lot of information to go ahead and make a decision. Now, based on my understanding, I do feel that the decision to go ahead and increase the interest rate hike or decrease the interest rate hike will be based on a plethora of factors. He tends to look at all the numbers on a daily basis, and I wouldn't be surprised if he is looking at geopolitical situation right now, because just in the last few days, there's war intensifying between Israel and other countries, isn't it? Now, so far as the FOMC meeting is concerned, he definitely will be looking at the CPI numbers as well. The last month, John, the CPI numbers were not that bad, and it did actually go down by 0.1%. It definitely wasn't great, but keeping all these things in mind, he has 3 options. 1, to keep the interest rate the same. If that thing happens, I do feel the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be bumping up. The second case is where he does go ahead and decide to go ahead and reduce the interest rate hike. If that thing happens, the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be pumping up even further. Now, with US elections coming up, the left-leaning regime will definitely want that, but I highly doubt that would happen. That there is also a possibility that he does go ahead and decide to increase the interest rate hike. Now, if that thing happens, John, I do feel that the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will actually go down. Now, look, the cryptocurrency world works completely different to what it should be. Now, in an idealistic world, things should work completely different. So let's say if Jerome Powell does decide to go ahead and increase the interest rate hike, that would actually mean that the fiat world and the stock market is not doing well, and that should be the reason why people should shift to go ahead and buy a lot of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. But in the realistic world, that would not happen. So let's say if Jerome Powell does decide to go ahead and let's say reduce the interest rate hike or keep the interest rate the same, in an idealistic world, John, people should go ahead and dump a lot of the Bitcoin, because why hold cryptocurrencies when the fiat market and the stock market is doing well? Why would you want to have cryptocurrencies? Now, we might take at least a couple of decades, maybe a couple of decades for that thing to happen, and that was the whole goal of creating Bitcoin, isn't it? But regarding your question, what I'd really recommend you to do is, John, and even for our listeners, try to listen to what Jerome Powell is saying, and he does go live via YouTube, and he does go ahead and give reason as to why he's gone ahead and made the decision. This is often followed by a question and answer session as well, and I've always noticed the prices tend to change 3 to 4 hours after he's made the announcement. But based on my understanding, John, I do feel that he might just keep the interest rate the same, but let's see how the narrative turns out to be. Now, it's really important to note that after the last announcement, the World Economic Forum did go ahead and meet Jerome Powell and his boss Janet Yellen, and they actually advised to make sure that the US takes care of its monetary policies. Now look, that is definitely not great for the Biden administration. Now, so I wouldn't be surprised, in order to go ahead and reduce the inflation, Jerome Powell might slightly increase the interest rate hike as well. That would be absolutely catastrophic, not for the cryptocurrency world, but also for the stock market and also for the fiat currency. So let's see what his decision is. And what I'll do is, John, in the episode that I released on the 1st of August, I'll definitely go ahead and touch base on that, but definitely a brilliant question. And that's about all, guys, from the Ask Me Anything season blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. And remember, guys, Monday to Thursday, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto with Coffee podcast, where we cover top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other day news and information is related to the UAE and the Middle East, from the cryptocurrency, blockchain, and now artificial intelligence world as well. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening and have a nice one. Bye-bye.